When you think of the best teams in the NFL, we like to think of those, wow, they're blowing people out. They're winning by 3 touchdowns. Well, the Lions last night, we realized they are a great team. When you're not playing well and you still win and you're beating a playoff caliber team, that tells you something about them. Now, we've talked about the Chiefs before. I don't think offensively they played great. Mahomes was sacked 4 times against Denver. They had 57 yards rushing. They had 6 points in the second half. Still found a way to win. Jared Goff throws 5 interceptions. The Lions eventually squeak out a 3-point win. Both teams, talented rosters, but you don't see them in these scenarios very often. But when you do, it tells me more about you as a team because you're going to have close games in the playoffs. During the regular season, games can get out of hand, get away from you, and you are going to see those blowouts. But in the postseason, you're going to have games when you're not playing your best. And we saw that with the Lions and the Chiefs both yesterday in the afternoon and last night. But the Lions end up getting the win. The Chiefs still undefeated. The first reigning Super Bowl champ to win their first 9 games since the 2011 Green Bay Packers, who started out 13-0.
Woo! Ow! Stat of the day! Stat of the day! Stat of the day! Stat of the day! This is the stat of the day!
Here's how the Kansas City Chiefs stayed undefeated.
Lutz waiting for the snap. Placement is down. Lutz's kick is blocked! It's blocked! It's blocked! The Chiefs blocked the kick! They're going to stay undefeated! The Kansas City Chiefs blocked a 35-yard field goal attempt! Kansas City wins this game on a blocked field goal!
As you might expect, that's the Kansas City Chiefs broadcasting team, the Chiefs radio network. Here is the Broncos call.
Snap, placement, kick on the way. It is blocked. I don't even know what to say. I really am at a loss for words. 35-yard field goal blocked with 1 second to go, and Kansas City is going to get out of here with a 16-14 win over the Broncos.
So the Kansas City Chiefs are 9-0. Niners survive the Buccaneers. Steelers over the Commanders. You know what's not a good story for people to tell when Russell Wilson plays well? When he doesn't play well, then it's a big story. He's playing well. He's playing well enough. And they picked up a win against the Commanders. The Lions scrambled to beat the Texans. I watched a lot of the Cardinals against the Jets. Cardinals were really good. They were the best team. They were certainly the better team on the field. And I'm watching Aaron Rodgers. Now, I'm not going to make this comparison, but it did flash in front of me. Aaron just looks slow. He does look older, and he should because he is older. But he was scrambling out of the pocket at one point, going left, and he didn't realize somebody was right behind him. He got sacked, and he's just on the ground, and you could see him kind of laboring to get up. I don't know if he was banged up as much as he was just, what am I doing out here? And it reminded me Willie Mays in center field for the Mets, Joe Namath at the end of his career, Johnny Unitas at the end of his career, where you just go, man, you don't want to say somebody's washed. It just doesn't feel like there's anything there. And they are a good team. They're a talented team. Let me take that back. They're a talented team. Second half, they look spent. That defense was on the field. And give the Cardinals credit. It shouldn't be about the Jets. It should be about the Cardinals. And they were the better team. And Kyler Murray played well. And they run hard. They play hard. And they won 4 games in a row. So good for the Cardinals. Because it's been a while since we've looked at them and said, you know, they're pretty good. They're competitive. Now you have to say they could win the division, which is pretty remarkable. Rams in action tonight, speaking of the NFC West, against the Rams, and the Dolphins against the Rams, and the Rams are favored by 2.5. You also had the Patriots over the Bears. Panic time in Chicago. Somebody has to get fired in Chicago today. Anybody. Just, you know, the poor team manager walks in. Hey, Skippy, got to fire you. Why? We got to fire somebody. special teams coach. Somebody's got to get fired. Yes, Eden.
How does it seem to happen all the time, too, that when there's 2 quarterbacks taken at the top of the draft, the second one taken is always the better one?
Yeah.
How does that keep happening?
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Caleb Williams, this ain't USC. And you see this with young quarterbacks. They're always a half a second late on things, or they hold on to the ball too much. Because in college, I made things happen. Hey, in college, those guys were wide open. Well, they're not. And you could see Caleb Williams is a half a second slow. And that is an eternity in the NFL. Eagles over the Cowboys. I'm watching the game, and I love the reaction of people when they talk about the sun, that it's in your eyes. And, you had CeeDee Lamb who was complaining about the sun in his eyes. And Jerry Jones is asked about the sun. Well, this has been an issue. They know where the sun is because almost all of their games are played on at 4:30 in the afternoon, or Sunday night, you don't have to worry about it, or Monday night. They don't play 1 o'clock games. They're the Cowboys. They're at 4:30. You know where the sun's going to be. And then people are, as if it just happened, like the sun just changed. But you build a stadium, you know where the sun is going to be at what time. When you build a baseball stadium, hey, where's the sun going to be? Is there a sun field? Are there going to be shadows? Like, this is just normal, common sense. But because you have a dome, you don't think of the sun. I mean, the Cowboy Stadium where they used to have the hole in the roof so God could watch the Cowboy nonsense. But now you have the sunshine there. Now they're talking about, can we get the sound with Jerry Jones? Is that available, Marvin?
Look, it's not the greatest sound. It's not the greatest quality, but I'll look for it.
Okay. Well, he sounded like he was he should be. The team is terrible. I mean, let me see if I have the numbers here. These are historical runs in a bad way. Let me see if I can find this. And it looks like Dak's going to be out for the rest of the season with surgery. Here you go. Over the last 5 home games, if you include the playoffs from last year with Green Bay, the Cowboys have allowed 201 points. 201 points. That is the most by any team over a 5-game home span since 1962.
Stat of the day, stat of the day, stat of the day, stat of the day. Here comes that
what?
Stat of the day.
Bills are now quietly 8-2. Got the Chiefs coming to town. Chargers are now 6-3. Just some of the headlines. And Dolphins at the Rams. The Rams are favored by 2.5.